Okay, so I'm going to show you guys how to make a more complicated adaptive unit in Revit. So on CLV here, we had some pretty complicated ones. So what I want to do is recreate this unit here, just as an example, pretty much the craziest one I've seen. Um, so here we have a little notch in the top left. Um, we have a little kiss mullion behind the second light of glass here. 3 lights of glass with the bottom being raked, shadow boxes and back pans. So this is pretty much the craziest one I've seen. So it'd be a good example for the odd type of conditions that we can have. Yeah, so let me go ahead and open up Revit 2020. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to File, Open, Family. What I'm going to do is I'm going to open up an existing G-unit family. So adaptive unit. And then I pick something like maybe a 3-light A. Because it'll already have some of the parameters I need, and then it'll already have some of the families that you need to load in. So it just skips a couple steps. Okay, so then once I'm in here, what I do is I do File, Save As, Family. And then you can call this whatever you like, whatever makes sense for the condition. So we go ahead and go to my documents. I'm just going to throw it in here. So on CLV, I got 3-light C1A. So just not to get confused, I'm just going to call this 3-light like text. That's fine. So you're going to save that. Yeah, perfect. And then what you're going to do now, you're going to go into your 3-light empty frame over here, right click, and go, oh, I'm sorry, expand this first, and then click on this. And then you go to, where's edit? There you go. Okay, so this is the empty frame for that unit that we were just in. And what I like to do is come into this and do the same exact thing. So File, Save As, Family. And then you can even find so I'm just going to call this 3-light XX dash empty frame dash A. That's great. And then, so in these empty frames, there aren't really any parameters necessarily, but they just are the skeleton of the unit you're trying to make. So what I do is I go ahead and just select all like that, filter. And then what I'm trying to do is just delete all the lines and all the points so I can kind of restart. So what I do is I just click off anything that I want to leave. So like the levels, leave the planes. I can probably delete the lines. And then reference points. Okay. And now delete. So now we have kind of a blank template. Go ahead and save. Then I go to reference level here. I'm going to delete this out. I don't know what that is. Do another save. And now I'm just going to reference the project that we were just looking at. So the unit that I'm trying to make. So as you see here, it's kind of complicated. There's what, 14 points in total. So what we're gonna have to do is we're gonna have to place those points on here. So what I do is you go to reference, you pick points. For the placement plane, you pick level, reference level, and then you make sure this is on draw on work plane. So right here is kind of the key. just make sure these are all correct. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna kind of rough out what it might look like. So actually, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put reference planes down first. Just so I know I'm drawing things, in straight lines, so it looks a little cleaner. So 1 to 2, that's like the head. So that's going to be where my head points are. And then there's another horizontal there. So I'm going to put the horizontal right under where the head is. Another horizontal right here. So we're going to go ahead and put that horizontal in. There's kind of a horizontal here for where the kiss mullion is. So I'm going to put that there. Another horizontal there. And then the sill. So I'm not going to angle it because it doesn't matter right now, but now I'm ready to go ahead and place. Actually, I'm going to place some vertical grids real quick. I'm going to plane, line, put a little line there so I can line up this 1 and 13 point. Then I think that's the only one. So actually, let me just put the verticals in. So there, left. So now when I go reference and point, make sure this is picked, and then this is picked. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go around. So I'm gonna do like copying this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Looks like I went back in from this one, so I'm just gonna copy that. 9, 10, 11. Thanks. Let's go through it. So it's the head 1 to 2, 1 and 2, and then the horizontal member here. And you put another point right there because these are going to be a different family because it's a little kink. Then we got this horizontal below, and then right there. And then the next horizontal is right here. Okay, we're good. I'm gonna put reference plane right here. Put 2 more points for that kiss mullion. 10 and 14. So now I'm gonna grab all these points, filter, check none, reference points, and then click that make adaptive up here. And I'm just gonna check the order. So I like to go like top left clockwise. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Probably change this to 9, 10. Maybe I'll cut inside here. 11, 12, 13, 14. And this is just kind of the order that you place them in. So it'll work no matter what, but try and build some kind of logic so when you're placing it, it makes sense for you. Now if I can expand this window. Now if I go in my 3D view, I see all these points here. So now what I want to do is just connect them. So when I'm placing the skeleton, you can see it. So if you go to model, and then again, draw on work plane, and then reference level, and then 3D snapping, like model, work plane, reference level, 3D snapping. And then when you draw these in, you'll see like those lines will move. So it's helpful when you're placing it just so you get like an idea that you were correct on where you put it. It kind of unfolds for you. So I'm just gonna go to start model. So I'm just gonna place all of these like between. Yeah, that's okay. You're gonna get that pop up, but so I like to do kind of the perimeter first, and then I'll go in and put the horizontals in. With the kiss mullion that kind of has a kink back there. This guy in. We're looking pretty good. So now I'm gonna save this. Um, you can like go in here and delete out all the planes if you like, but I just sort of leave them. So now we got our skeleton, a rough idea of what that frame can be like. And as you see, when we stretch them, um, these points move with it. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna load into project and close, go it into my unit. You want to save changes? Say yeah. And then you can double click the escape key to just get out of that. And then you can go ahead and just delete the empty frame that was in here. So now it's all clean. You got the right empty frame. Now what we got to do is we have to throw that same frame back into this project. But we're just going to draw it out, like redraw it.